So I served in the U.S. Navy from '89 to about '94 active, and I was on two commands. And my first command was an amphib out of Japan. My second one was out of Old Alameda County. It was the Gompers. My first AD-37. My first command was the USS St. Louis 116 as Sasebo. But I was a skate. I would say that's what my rate was. I did want to please subscribe. This is my first video. Subscriptions would really help out. So if you could subscribe to my channel, that would really help me out. I want to tell you a story about a guy when I was UI is under instruction. I was in deck, non-rate deck, E1, SN1 Delaney, SN1, just E1 Seaman Delaney. My first command, I got on board and almost got in trouble for partying too much. I mean, my first night, that's common. You run around with the nitwits on the ship, but in deck, 80% of the people in deck are nitwits anyway, so you can't get away from them. And you're a nitwit anyways. Of course, you're in deck. So there's a lot of stuff I learned. I learned from this guy named Walden, and he was my instructor on the rotation when you're UI under instruction for helm, lee helm, plot board, port and starboard lookout, and aft lookout. And then I think there was one more that you just goof around and go get coffee. But he sat down and he said, "You want to be a skate?" And I said, "Well, what's a skate?" "It's a skate. You know what a skate is?" "Well, I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to take you into like Jedi skating." And I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to learn. I'm going to twirl my eyes. Okay, so the first thing he says, I mean, there are a few things. He said, "Get Jeff and Oddbarks, work as hell, and go buy it on the base, or order it. Get it somehow." The second one was get a clipboard. Always have a clipboard. Always have a clipboard. You're gonna have a clipboard with a notepad on it. When anybody says anything to you, you write it down. If you're wandering around the deck and you're not sweeping or cleaning, write things down that people are doing. He goes, it will really upset everybody in deck, and you're just screwing with them anyway, fucking with them. But write everything down. So I went and bought a clipboard. It was back then, in your like late 80s, early 90s. Every clipboard is, where's my clipboard? I just had it. But every clipboard back then was brown. So I taped a pencil to it with a little string, and I had a notepad on it. So I did that. I did exactly what Walden would tell me. He had so many great skating techniques. He was like the Jedi master, the special forces of skating. And I don't mean that is at all like I was in special forces. I'm saying skating special forces. Advanced skating techniques. And I'm not talking about skating techniques where you, the officer of the watch or your pay officer third class on the bridge in deck ask you to go get coffee, and then you go goof around for an extra 4 minutes. I'm talking about my skating took it to, I had an alarm clock. Back then, I didn't even have a watch. I had a physical alarm clock that was square and white, and I kept it in my pocket, and I would set it so I knew when chow was in the middle of the day. So I knew when to go stand in the galley line, and I go early. Everybody else is like, "Oh, break off, you guys had the lunch." I've been in that line standing with everybody else who had a cool rate, who, the non-rate deck guy, I'd be standing in line like 20 minutes before lunch in the beginning. But I digress. So the clipboard is very important if you're going to be an advanced skater. You got to carry the clipboard wherever you go. Anybody says anything to you, you're going somewhere, and you've got your clipboard. And a lot of times, the deck guys aren't going to like you having a clipboard. They'll rock right up, and you'll be writing on it, looking at them smugly, and they'll just, "Fuck you, Delaney. You ain't writing nothing down. You're carrying that stupid. They're going to slap it out of your hand, and that's going to be common. They're not. They don't want you to have a clipboard. They don't like that you have a clipboard. They don't like that you thought of you had a clipboard and they don't have a clipboard. And they'll you expect them to break it a bunch of times, and that's how it comes with that. So what happened with me and the clipboard though? It got way out of hand. Another guy named Waters suggests that I got this thing running. It's messing with me. Waters, another guy I was in deck with who wanted to probably be a boatswain's mate. He said he had a great idea one time where he said, "Hey man, let's take some of these porno pictures of these two chicks going at it, and we're going to put it on the back of the clipboard." So on the back of the clipboard, one section of the girls doing something here, one section of the girls doing here, and we taped it on really well. We cut it with like an X-Acto knife. It looked really nice. So I had this clipboard for like a month and a half. Nothing lasts long in deck because everybody would steal it anyways. But one night I didn't know where it went. Or it was a few days later. I'm like, where's my clipboard? I don't know what happened to my clipboard. I'm like, damn man, I lost my clipboard. So I'm on deck with the rest of us deck monkeys doing something, and somebody comes up to me and goes, "Hey man, Waters is on the phone. I was in second division. Go get the phone. Go. He's calling and saying you need to come up to the bridge right away." And I'm like, "Oh man, why would Waters get me in trouble?" So he was on the bridge, and I tell my petty officer, I make some big issue. They want me on the bridge. They want me on. Go on the bridge. I don't know why they want you on the bridge though. You're not in the duty section soon or whatever that was called. I forgot some of these Navy words. So I go up to the bridge and I walk over to him, and he's on helm or something. He goes, go over and stand next to the captain's chair. So I slyly go over towards the captain, and I'm looking around, and I look to my friend like, what's going on? He goes, look over there. And I look on the captain's lap, and the captain in the Navy always has a chair on the bridge that he can kick back. And it's his chair. No one else is allowed to sit in it. It swivels back and forth. He just meanders into the bridge and looks around and says something to somebody or whispers to somebody, and then he leaves. He usually doesn't say much. He says, ask the officer of the deck some questions. He may talk to bring the first lieutenant up there to talk to him. But I look, he's got my goddamn clipboard, and he's got it tucked under his arm. And I'm like, son of a bitch, the captain has my clip. So I go back to my friend. I'm like, oh man, he's got my clipboard. He goes, yeah, he's got your clipboard. You're not getting your clipboard back. And I didn't expect it. He's the captain. You can't go, hey bitch, give me my clipboard. You stole it, you motherfucker. That doesn't work. So it went on another month later, and they have this thing called 12 o'clock reports. I'm sure they still do it in the Navy. And it's where you have to repeat all this stuff. You have to go to the captain just before noon, and you have to recite all this stuff to him, and you better have it memorized. And I had it memorized. So you have to go to the captain's place where he lives on the ship, or his berthing. It's not the berthing, but I knock on the door. I walk in. I do my 12 o'clock reports, and he's eating a salad, and he sort of looks at me and he says, "Oh, very well." He acknowledges I did 12 o'clock reports, and he's got that damn clipboard sitting right next to him. He said to me, "Hey, Seaman Delaney, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "You want to sit down? You want to bullshit with me or anything?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I got to sit down with the captain, and he's asking me questions, and then he says, "Do you have anything you want to ask me?" And he said, "How do you like that clipboard?" And he goes, I'm leaving the command soon, but you know what? One of the few things I'm taking with me is this clipboard. And I'm like, well, I want you to know that, sir, that clipboard, myself and somebody, and I mentioned Waters. I said, we made that clipboard. You know what? This is the best clipboard I've ever seen. I've gotten lots of compliments from this clipboard. So I was glad to see at least it went to a captain, and the captain of my ship, he had the clipboard, so I was like, this is cool. If you're gonna lose a clipboard, that was my skating clipboard. A captain took it, and who knows what he did with it, but it was a precious clipboard. But I just wanted to say, if you're gonna be a skate in the Navy, you have to have a clipboard. You have to start off with that. So please subscribe to my videos. I have a lot of these. Oh, it's strict. I'm not going to say it's strictly goofing off. I have a lot of Navy stories from way back when. I have no idea if it's even PC or you should even talk about it. And I do not represent the U.S. Navy, the DOD, or anything like that. And I know they probably don't like me talking about skating, but skating is a real rate in the Navy. Because if you're really good at it, you can advance. So I just want to let you know. I loved it. It was fun as hell, but even people who in my division, in second division, on that my amphib, I was a skate among skates. So that they would laugh at if I was told to go somewhere. The rest of the guys sitting on the brooms would go and giggle and laugh because they're like, they knew I wasn't gonna get if I'm going. You're told to go somewhere. You're gonna go to the barber shop and just look what's going on. You're gonna go to the mess decks. You're gonna see what's going on. You're gonna ship stores. You're gonna buy a Snickers bar and I don't know what type of drink. What is it? Start with an S or something. I forgot back then. But yeah, a skate. If a skate is told to go do something and go somewhere he's told to go, you're gonna stop. You're gonna go to the machine shop and see if they figured out something. You're gonna walk by. You're gonna hang out with. What should take you 3 minutes should take you 17. And then you got to suck it up when you get there because you got to have an excuse why you were late to where you're supposed to go. So please subscribe to my videos. Yeah, this doesn't have to be, this is not going to be anything PC. I did everything I could to not work. Picking up a broom, I'd chuck it right overboard. I wouldn't even take it back to the rear of the ship to clean it. Release all the mops and let them go. Don't clean them in salt water. All right, please subscribe. Thank you. Have a nice day.